The night fell slowly over the hills of Israel, and the wind carried with it a silence heavier than stone. Eliab stood alone at the edge of the camp, his eyes fixed on the dark horizon, where heaven and earth seemed to touch. The events of the past days had carved deep lines into his spirit. He was no longer the same man who once followed the flock without questions. The voice that had called him still echoed within his soul, burning quietly, patiently, like fire beneath ashes. The elders slept, the warriors rested, and even the animals lay still, as if all creation awaited something unseen. Eliab wrapped his cloak tighter around his shoulders and breathed deeply. He felt the weight of responsibility pressing upon him, yet within that weight there was purpose. He remembered the words spoken to him in the valley, words that had not come from man but from the Eternal himself. "You will walk where others fear to stand." These words had followed him into every moment of silence. As he turned away from the camp, Eliab noticed a faint glow beyond the olive trees. At first, he thought it was the moon rising through the branches, but the light flickered with a life of its own. Drawn by a force he could not resist, Eliab moved forward, step by careful step, until he reached a clearing he had never seen before. There, in the center of the clearing, stood a small altar of uncut stones. No human hand had shaped them, yet they were arranged with perfect order. Fire burned upon the altar, but the stones were not consumed, and the flames made no sound. Eliab fell to his knees. "My lord," he whispered, his voice trembling, "I am here." The fire grew brighter, and from within the light came a presence that filled the air, heavy and holy. Eliab felt his heart laid bare, every fear, every doubt exposed, yet he was not ashamed. Instead, peace washed over him like a river. "Eliab, son of the hills," the voice spoke, calm and powerful, "do you know why you were called?" Eliab bowed his head. "I know only that you called me, and I answered." "That is enough," the voice replied. "Many hear, but few answer." The fire shifted, and images formed within the flames. Eliab saw his people wandering, divided by fear and pride. He saw leaders who spoke with strength, but walked without truth. He saw enemies rising, not only from foreign lands, but from within the hearts of men. "Darkness grows," the voice said, "not because the light is weak, but because men turn their faces away." Tears filled Eliab's eyes. "What do you ask of me, Lord?" "Obedience," came the answer. "Not sacrifice, not strength, not glory. Obedience." The fire flared, and Eliab felt something within him break and be rebuilt. He understood then that his path would not be easy, nor would it bring honor in the eyes of men. His name would be questioned, his actions misunderstood, but the truth would walk with him. "You will speak when others remain silent," the voice continued. "You will stand when others kneel to fear. And when the night is darkest, you will remember this fire." The flames slowly faded, leaving only warm stones and a lingering presence. Eliab remained on his knees long after the light disappeared, his heart pounding with a mixture of awe and resolve. When he finally rose, the clearing was gone. The olive trees stood as they always had, and the night seemed ordinary once more. But Eliab knew that nothing was the same. He returned to the camp before dawn. As the first light touched the tents, an elder approached him, eyes narrowed with concern. "You were not in your place," the elder said. "Where did you go?" Eliab met his gaze calmly. "Where I was sent." The elder studied him for a long moment, then turned away without another word. Whispers began to move through the camp like wind through dry grass. Some looked at Eliab with curiosity, others with suspicion. He accepted both without defense. Later that day, a messenger arrived from a nearby settlement. His clothes were torn, his face pale with fear. "Trouble comes from the east," the messenger said. "A force gathers, stronger than before. They will reach us within days." Panic spread quickly, but Eliab stepped forward. His voice, though steady, carried a quiet authority. "We will not run," he said, "nor will we strike in fear. We will prepare, and we will listen." "Listen to whom?" a warrior scoffed. Eliab looked toward the sky, to the one who speaks before the battle begins. That night, Eliab gathered those willing to stand with him. They prayed, not for victory, but for wisdom, not for strength, but for faith. And as they prayed, a calm settled over them that no enemy could steal. Eliab knew the days ahead would test every word spoken in the fire-lit clearing. Blood would be shed, tears would fall, and faith would be refined like gold in flame. Yet, in his heart, there was no doubt, for the fire still burned within him. And silence, once his fear, had become his strength. Subscribe to the channel so you don't miss the next videos. Leave a like. Thank you.